Hey everybody, it's Carlos Robles again here at Mortals Inc. Podcast. How you guys are doing? That's all I got. No. Today, as always, I'm joined by Nate Elwood.
How you guys doing?
You gotta say something. No, I'm kidding. So today we're gonna go over some. I know we had him on not too long ago, Andy Hopp, but we're gonna go actually over his. Without his presence, you're gonna go over his low life video game. Jesus. RPG. But in the meantime, we have some things to go over, right? Anything new and exciting with you?
Oh, there's always new and exciting.
Well,
I can't divulge it all on the podcast.
My
life is extremely exciting.
Oh, okay.
Sure it is.
Private. Yeah. This is an exciting podcast.
There's the podcast. We're done.
Yeah, that's it. Call it a day. Josh, pull the curtain. Anyway, so we have some pretty good stuff coming up. Modern Horizons for Magic the Gathering. It is going to be released on June 14th. That's a Friday. What is so special about this set, Josh? It's for crazy amount of stuff, right?
It's a modern exclusive set.
Modern exclusive set.
Cards that are being released to modern first.
Oh, these are being released to modern first. Are they new cards? Are they all new cards? Some are new.
I got to give it to them. I mean, it's been going for how many years now, and they still have art and ideas to throw at it. So.
Yeah, they plus they have a bunch of formats they can go back on. So like Standard over here a while was terrible. Nobody showed up and nobody wanted to play it. Now I've heard that Standard is starting up again on Thursday nights. Yeah, we had 10 guys the last time, so which is a lot for Standard. And I've heard that it's fun again to play Standard. So that's good.
I'm still just shy. I mean, it's been since the early 90s. The game has been going.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I know. Yeah,
you think they'd hit their plateau or they'd just be like, blah, blah. I mean.
Well, it's math and they have good marketing. And
yeah.
It's actually a fun game. You can pick it up at any time. You could play it 20 years ago and then you could pick it up and you could still play it. All the rules are right on the cards. There's a few things that like you might like Planeswalkers kind of screwed me up for a while, but it's like one game and then I figured it out. So I'm not that bright, so it's not that hard. We have boxes for sale. It's $240 a box right out the door. Yeah, $240 a box out the door. Going. Really?
How many packs come in a box?
36.
All right, so you pretty much get the whole set almost.
No,
almost guaranteed.
No.
Well, I mean for that booster or whatever it is.
Yeah, you get a pretty good thing.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. It's been a while since I've opened a Magic pack. So yeah, all right.
Yeah, the rarities are funny when it comes to that. But yeah, that's coming out the 14th. It's $240 a box out the door, and if you get a buy box, which are limited, of course. All seriousness, they're limited. We only get so many. Flutterstorm is the buy box promo. What? Oh, sorry. Flusterstorm is. I even wrote Flusterstorm down. Flusterstorm is the card. Yeah, the card that. Oh yeah, they get stars. So you get like 22 stars. And if you know what our stars are,
they're excellent.
Yeah, they're
excellent.
They're customer rewards. Every $10 you spend, you get a star. When you get 20 of them, you get a $20 coupon. And there's certain rules that apply when you're using it, but you can pretty much use it on whatever you want. But you'll get 22 stars, I think. So you automatically get a $20 coupon right off the bat. And you get to buy a box, the Flusterstorm, which is, what's that thing going for? It's like a $30 card already.
Is it like a special, one of those little foil-looking ones and stuff, and all snazzy?
That was only printed once, so it's like really...
Oh, so it's a limited printing.
Yeah,
and that's
limited,
okay.
Yeah. So it's and I'm sure it has.
It was never in a set. It was in a special box thing.
Oh,
So
it's super rare
nice
to begin
rare.
with. So I'm sure the art is probably going to be exclusive for that too. So, and then lo and behold, we're going to have a pre-release for this event. It's not the fancy usual pre-releases where you get a box and it's all fancy. No, this is just going to be a booster draft. The standard ones apply. Standard rules. Yeah, well, Josh is still working it out. There's a price difference, and we don't want it to be too high, but he's looking around $30 to enter, and it's going to be a draft format. But that's going to be Sunday, June 9th at 1 p.m. So that's when we're doing ours. Felt it was the best. Blood Bowl, for those of you who still like Blood Bowl.
Who doesn't like Blood Bowl?
I do. It is fun.
It is a great game.
The Halflings are coming this weekend.
Yes,
Saturday.
If you ever wanted to know what it's like to play a game and have the worst possible team, go with that. But to be honest, they're the funnest team to play. I mean, you get cool. You have tree men, and they can throw halflings around, and it's just
the
a
miniatures
hoot to
are all
play.
comical, and it's
yeah.
played for fun more than
It's
serious.
Baron Pretzel's game. It's great.
Yeah,
It's great.
and then they help too. So that's coming. The
Next
miniature, the team's coming.
I think next
the dice
week,
are
right?
coming. No, this Saturday.
Oh, this Saturday. Okay.
which would be the 3rd, 2nd, something.
The second.
Second.
Yeah.
So June 1st is Saturday. So they're gonna be releasing here. They'll have the teams, the dice, the cards,
The pitch.
the pitch,
Yeah.
the new journal. What's that called? Spike. The new Blood
Spike
Bowl
magazine,
journal.
yeah.
Magazine number 5 is coming out too. So that'll be here Saturday.
Plus, you guys have quite a bit of Blood Bowl stuff up here. So.
Yeah. I did a little restock on the Blood Bowl
Yeah,
too. So we'll have a line of it. New Pathfinder minis came out. The booster boxes.
And Brock I saw him
Did he?
playing with those yesterday. Those are pre-painted and everything?
Yeah, all pre-painted ones. You bust them open. We're going to do a box break. I just think we're having time to do the box break because we're going to add those singles to our available miniatures.
Do you know what you're getting in the box, or is it just a mystery until you open it?
It's a mystery.
Oh, all right.
It's a,
I kind of like
it's a
that.
blind
too.
booster.
Yeah.
It's a booster box. So, Gloomhaven, believe it or not, has an expansion.
And we were just talking about that. I
Yeah,
mean, that is a suitcase as it is. I'm surprised that they can cram anything more into.
Yeah,
it,
I don't know when it actually released, but we'll have it Friday, and it's called. I didn't write it down, so it's called something. But
it's got to cover some new aspect.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure.
Gloomhaven, the expansion. What else dropped? You said Kill Team Elites dropped,
Yes.
which is what is Kill Team Elites, real quick?
Elites lets you add more, basically from the elite category in Warhammer. Each army has different categories, like you have troops in each headquarters and everything. So you can actually bring in elites from each army, and they just help make the game a little more exciting to play. And there's cool new special rules in there. There's new missions. There's a lot of awesome things. I picked it up on pre-order, read through it. It's actually a very, very good pickup for people who like Kill Team.
No, we got the huge box, the team, the promo box,
the promo box, yeah,
the tournament kit. You saw that,
Yeah.
right? Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, if you don't know what Kill Team is, it's Games Workshop's 40K version of squad combat.
pretty much.
So
Yeah.
you only need like 4, 5, 6 guys to play.
It's probably one of the best intro games to the 40K universe.
You could probably get into it for 40. No,
No.
80.
The rule book's like $60, and
Yeah.
then a squad is another probably $30, depending on
so-
what type it is. So
about $100 get you in.
Yeah.
With the book.
right,
If you got a buddy,
and that's pretty much all you need.
yeah.
Unless
A
you really
buddy-
want to customize stuff.
A buddy with the book, you can probably get in on.
Oh
40.
yeah. And the PDF versions are always.
Oh
cheaper,
yeah. We don't like PDFs.
but- Yeah, I still like holding the book. I still like the books.
Well,
That's just me.
we are working on, which is why I'm exhausted right now. It's mentally and physically exhausted. We're working on a new exclusive high-end VIP RPG room. Well, actually, it's in any kind of room. We just finished up the floor and the wall, and we have some other work to do on it. But we have took us all night to build a
Table of Ultimate Game.
the table of ultimate gaming, and I'll have more information on that. But that's going to be able to rent for private use, and it should be pretty cool.
For gaming.
gaming.
Private use for gaming.
Yeah, there's gonna be a camera in there, so don't be tearing up my stuff. So, and then related to
What we're
Andy.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll talk about it. But anyway, 'cause that's all I got right now. So I'm gonna throw my paper to the side. No, I'm not. I like to write things down. So then I'm going to turn it over to Nate.
Yeah, you got to get some sleep.
Turn it over to Nate, and he's gonna talk about low life using these Savage Worlds engines. Go ahead.
Well, thanks, John. So as we said, Low Life uses the Savage World game basically for its core rules. And Savage Worlds, you can check out one of our previous reviews with John Dunn. He did a great review on what Savage Worlds is. I'll just briefly say it's kind of like just a generic system, and you can plug it into any type of genre you want, and it is an excellent system. So that's the preface for Savage Worlds.
And that version is
This
affordable.
yes this
It's like $9.99 or something ridiculous.
yeah, like $10.
Yeah.
And literally you have whatever type of game
I
you
don't
can
know if
possibly
they
conceive
might
of.
be redoing that too. So
With the deluxe editions and stuff. There's so many supplements for this game and there's different.
I hope they keep this $9.99 basic core rulebook.
I don't see why they get rid of it.
I don't know
But who knows? As of right now, though,
We'll see.
excellent game. It's has so many supplements to it that you can find whatever you want to play.
It's one of those games too. I don't realize we sell until we're out of it. Like,
Yeah.
they're cheap, so I get like, I'll get like 5 or 6 at a shot. Say, okay, that'll last a minute, and then they'll be gone. They'll be like, you got any more of these? I'm like,
It's a fun game too.
Yeah.
That's the best part about it. It's easy to pick up. It's easy to play. I mean, and there's so many people, like the old Deadland system is in there. You got Space 1889. You got Weird Wars. I mean, there's so many supplements out there for so many different genres, and they all use the exact same rules. You can cart characters in from one or the other, and it'll blend.
Yeah.
Now, getting onto the supplements, we have Low Life Rise of the Lowly. This was written, illustrated, edited, maybe even printed and bound by Mr. Hopp himself.
Probably cried on a little.
Yeah. It is a unique setting for the Savage Worlds. Basically, Earth, or as the denizens of it now, it's called Oith. This takes place gazillions of years in the future, and pretty much every conceivable and even inconceivable apocalypse befell the Earth. Everything was wiped out multiple times, aliens invaded, dimensional doors opened, asteroids, cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria. That's what happened, and this is the aftermath of that, and you get to play unique characters within that setting. The book itself, same as all the other Savage Worlds, they're all this smaller, I guess.
Digest size.
Yeah, digest size. Which
call it
is
TV
nice.
guide size.
Yeah,
I mean,
TV guide.
People don't
size,
know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
when I say that.
only the people our age. But the book itself is 280 pages. It comes in a solid hardback. And just visually speaking, honestly, I've never seen a book with this much artwork in it. Every single page has artwork that really gives the feel of the game. Most of it is even color. Like, it's a lot of times you just get a bunch of black and white pictures. This one, there are full pages of just beautifully illustrated, beautifully illustrated work.
Oh,
We'll go
sorry.
like that. There
Yeah,
we
change
go.
cameras.
There we go. So, it's the beginning part of the book is pretty much a history of the world, and it's amusing. Like, this type of world is definitely, you have to take it tongue in cheek. You really do. There's a lot of, like, I guess potty humor would be the best way to describe it. I mean, it talks a lot about, the lowliest stuff of the world, boogers and poop and all that other stuff. But it's presented in a very humorous way, and overall, it's a pretty cerebral book. Like, I was surprised at what was thrown into it, but it really is a lot of easy humor, but it's done well.
If I remember right, it's just funny.
Yeah.
It's serious. He wrote it serious, but
Right.
it comes off as funny.
I mean, it reads
To
like
the
a history book.
Yeah, it does.
It reads like a history book,
yeah,
and
he has a lot of stuff, and it's a whole world.
Yeah.
It's a deep world.
It
So
is.
it's not like-
He poured a lot into it. You can tell that he put a lot into it. And when you, like, the beginning of the book, which is just going over the history of Middle Oith and how they talk about the human race and how it's been extinct and what has become of the world afterwards. And they talk about all of from primordial times all the way to the present. And up until the apocalypses happened, which they call the Big Flush and the Wipe, and now you're in the time period known as after the Wipe. You have also the universal form of measurement is in here, the Yort, in a very humorous story about how the Yort came about and how it describes pretty much everything. Any type of distance, any type of weight, everything is a Yort, and it's very arbitrary to what a Yort is. It's just, again, it's a nice little personal touch that makes the world come more alive. Like, for instance, there's no longer north, east, south, or west. In the middle of the world, there's this huge hole that they call the Keister of God, and anytime you're giving directions that go away from it, It's Keister where or whence, and if you're coming towards it, it's Keist or whole ward, or whole whence is pretty much it. And then after that little nice history biography, and you get into the races and the unique races that were created just for this, and they are awesome. Like, you have the Bodul, which are beings of dubious lineage. They're basically what's left of the human race, like, but they're so mutated that they would not resemble a sapien at all. You have the Creamphillians, which are basically mutated Twinkies that have come to life.
Because those will survive no matter what.
You have the Croach, which are cockroaches that have mutated on.
That's a given.
You have the Hork, which are descendants of a race that came through a dimensional rift from Middle Earth, and they basically are like kind of like the orcs, except they're made of snot. You have the UFO, which are descendants of the aliens who invaded Earth, who are now stranded. You have the Pile, which are basically walking sentient pieces of poo. You have Smelf, which are these huge-nosed creatures that also came through the dimensional portal from Middle Earth. They're kind of like elves. And then you have the Tisn't, which is pretty much every type of animal you can imagine all shoved together, because it tisn't this and it tisn't that.
Some mutants.
Then you have the Worms, which are basically evolved worms. And that's the PC races that he has put in. And again, each one has its own unique kinks, and it's, of all races that I've read in previous types of supplements, these are by far the most unique.
They're nothing. I mean, it's obvious they borrow from other races,
right? I mean,
they're totally unique. But
with Savage Worlds, they have mechanics in there to make your own races. He did that, but he also made them so very centric to the world in which he was created.
Yeah. There's nothing.
Like I said, it's all written in a very humorous way, and it relays the information you need, but it's entertaining to read too. Then you go through all of the archetypes that are available in this world. Everything from the Beast Puncher and the Gadabout, like a vagabond, to
have like
the Pedon, which are like the lowly workers.
So they have like fighters. And
users.
That's what those all are.
You have Contaminators, Hocus Pokers, Holy Rollers, which are like clerics, Weisenheimers that are sages, Pieces of Corn, which are pirates. And it's
too much.
There's a ton of archetypes to go through.
Yeah, I'm looking at you as you're flipping through it. I forgot how much each page has artwork.
Yes.
There's no page that does not contain artwork.
Some kind of artwork, and not just a little bit of this or that. I mean, it's central to what he's talking about.
Yeah, of the world.
Like all of the archetypes have a piece of art that go with them, so you can kind of see what they look like.
Is character creation based on Savage World?
Yes, it goes right through the same way as Savage World.
Okay,
in fact, at the back of the book, he has a great flow chart of how to create a character using the Savage Worlds, and specifically for this.
Oh, okay.
And it's beautifully illustrated, and it's a bunch of the denizens of this world holding signs, and it goes from A to B. So creating a character, it took me 10 minutes to create a character.
Oh.
First time reading through. I've created characters for Savage World before, so I knew how kind of already. But to give it even the little quirks, it took me 10 minutes. It's very easy.
So it's easy.
Right. Unless you want to get a lot more in depth, it's pretty easy.
Do you need to make it easy because it's like what kind of, is it brutal? Like we've been doing Cubicle 7, so everything's like it's brutal. But is this as brutal, or is there room for error?
You know what?
Is it more storytelling? I guess.
I think it's more. It depends on how you want to play it. I mean, Savage Worlds, the system itself, can be as brutal as you want it to be. If you want a more story centric, every encounter doesn't have to be lethal, but dying in this is possible. It's not like it's meant that your character's going to live forever. You get into fights, you get into to situations where bad things will happen. So
like, is it like one hit and you're gone? Or?
No, not like that. Not like that.
Not like the other games we've been doing.
No. The next chapters is the Holy Crap, which is the religions of the world. And again, this is where it's very cerebral because it brings up a lot of actual good theological points that are just twisted to be in this world. Because you have religions like the humanitarianism, which is they worship the old human race. You have the Jesus freaks, which is like a combination of Christians and Elvis. It is hilarious.
Just leave that one alone.
Jemima's Witnesses.
No. Turn the page.
And one of my favorites, Stanism.
Stanism.
See, I guess through all the records, most of these apocalypses, there's a lot of mention of this guy Stan.
Oh.
And him being this ultimate evil. So you have people who worship Stan, and their Stanism. Yes. And then he even gives other like sub cults, like atheists and stuff like that. I mean, actually it's well, like I said, it's well written, and it's meant to be tongue in cheek. I mean, obviously, if you find it to be offensive, then probably put down the book. You know, he doesn't jibe at any one religion.
No,
he doesn't. It's not meant to be. I am. He doesn't. At least when I was reading, there's like no hidden agenda of like I don't like this. It's more along the lines of this is thousands of years in the future. I'm just going to poke fun at everything.
Everybody gets poked fun at.
Then you get into the magic section, which is called Zaz, and there's tons of different ways to sling Zaz. You have the Contaminator, which kind of creates, takes refuge and gives it sentience to be useful to him. The Danged Wranglers, which are kind of like necromancers. They wrangle the danged. You have the Mentalists. A really unique one for the setting is called the Giggity Gitter. A Giggity is this weird creature that can absorb other people's traits, whatever it may be, like awesome mustaches or amazing strength. And the Giggity Gitter actually captures these, and then he or she can take the traits that they have and absorb it themselves to help themselves out. It's an interesting idea,
it's like
and I like that
from,
a lot.
what was that show where that guy was able to suck everybody's powers away?
Heroes?
Maybe. I never watched it. I just remember that part of it for some reason. I just kind of skimmed through stuff. I'm a big fan of Google.
I read the back flap.
I read as far as movies and TV
that
shows.
That synopsis did it for me. Yeah.
That guy won in the end, I think, right? Anyway, go ahead.
Well, you have your holy rollers, which are clerics, basically, who get their magic from their whatever deity they worship.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Zaz portion of it is really well written, and it, like I said, it everything in this book is very centric to the setting, and it fits really well. Like,
I think it almost looks like he kept the world over the rules. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. He kept the
flair over. No matter what the bad parts about what the flair would be, it's still there. You know, it's not changing. Also
in the book, you get an awesome kind of more than just a basic overlay of the world.
I think if I remember right, it's most of the book.
It's
the world.
It's a huge amount of Mother Oith. It's spelled Oith, so it's Oith. But again, there's this fantastic 2-page. This is what Earth looks like now. It has such locations as the incredibly huge monster, which is a gigantic corpse that
fell.
Yeah, well, nobody knows really. And I mean, they it's so huge that they use its ears to mine earwax, and I mean, it's very. Of course, there's the Keister of God in the center, and it gives enough locations for any budding GM to really get a feel of what the world is like, and to have a good springboard to jump into a possible setting or a game of your own. And it's presented in such a way that it reads pretty easy.
Very colorful.
Oh, it's.
I want to go over these flipping through this book. It's very colorful, not in a bad way. Just it's full of color. It gives you the feel for it. When you're reading it, you're there.
Yeah,
it's one of those books. You know, it's not like it's a picture book where you just picture in a couple words.
It's kind of like a novel with rules thrown in.
Yeah.
I mean, like with names like that one place with all the sand. It's
a lot of thought went into
and
that.
Underwear. So then it actually gets into the actual rules of Savage, how to put Savage worlds to this world. So the first whole half of the book is the world, everything unique about the world, and then this is how you make a character, this is how you play in it. One of the coolest things that I really liked, and I think a lot of other people would like this too, is you have obviously unique spells to each spellcasting thing. But
was that a worm wielding a butcher knife? I saw
it was
a cleaver.
Yes, it is.
That's funny. I mean, it can't even.
Well, they have arms and kind of tentacle hands. But you get into like the gear, and there's quite a bit of gear that he puts in here because it's obviously it's a weird world. But when it gets to weapons, there's a mechanic in here to make your own weapons and how to go about doing it. It's Wacky Wongo's Wondrous Weapon Workshop, and it gives how to make them, what it gives to you for the price of it and everything. I love this thing. This is probably 4 minutes of that 10-minute character creation was me going through here and making a unique weapon to your. I mean, and the sky's the limit with this. If you can think it, you can apply one of these perks and rules to it. So I mean, you could go.
So you can make it anything.
Right, you can make a spatula that.
Like this guy could take this coffee cup, make it into a D4 weapon of some sort, and
whatever.
As long as you
like.
can justify. Oh, okay.
It's really, I like that a lot. I wish there was more games that did that actually, but this is pretty cool. That's one of the big positives.
So you can actually build your own weapon.
Yes,
you're crafting a weapon.
You can make your own type of weapon, and there's the rules for it.
Yeah, irrational or something.
There's also a bestiary in here, which gives you a ton of zany monsters to go up against. You have.
There's nothing normal.
In
any of this world. It's.
You have the Butt-Hemoth.
Yeah.
The Dork, which is a dark smelf. A MILF, which is a doppelganger that basically lures people to their dooms. And like a cream coiffeur, which is a vampire twink. I mean, it goes around sucking out the other cream fillings. I mean, it's like I said, most time reading this book, it just put a smile on my face because it's like
So you could probably apply another adventure and just fill in like a ridiculous monster for whatever monster.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Savage World monster, so you could do whatever you wish with it.
Is there any adventures in there?
Yes.
Okay.
The last part of the book has a ton of springboards for you to just, here's an idea. I love springboards for especially for new GMs or even veterans. It's nice to just have like, here's a spark of an idea, you flesh it out. And then there's actually like a mini campaign where it's like 6 or 7 adventures put together, and it kind of like a intro almost.
I wonder if he has any adventures. I think he does.
Oh, I'm
like
pretty
published
sure.
adventures.
Yeah, I think he does. I'd have to check it. I don't want to say yes and not.
I know
I'd
he's got
to check it out.
Like he's got like super great. You ever see those the cardboard cutouts where you stand up and you make it? I know he has I say buttload of those. He has a buttload of those, yeah. But they're all cool, high quality stuff. I mean, like I said, he writes and draws and does all this stuff all on his own, which is
you could.
Like who?
I think because it was just one person who was able to write the book and illustrate the book and maybe even edit or put it on. I mean, honestly, his vision is put into this book. And like in a lot of role-playing games, it's a collaborative thing where you have multiple writers doing, because they have a timeline. Hey, you do this section, game designers that are doing this, play testers that are doing that. This was done over probably a long period of time outside of publishing.
It's a very long time because as long as I've known him or of him, he's been working on this. Yeah. So,
and it shows. I mean, this is
at least
probably
15, 20 years. I know. So, it had to be. It's epic. But
I'll just put it this way. I forget. I think I counted it out. I think it was like 14 pages of giggity traits. So like you randomly roll what the giggity has, and then your giggity getter can randomly get that stuff. I mean, it's very in depth. Like I said, it's a goofy game. It really is. But the rule system isn't goofy. The themes don't even have to be goofy. I mean, this could be a very serious game. It's whatever direction you want to take it in. However, I could see this as just a really, if you have a lot of friends who are just want to play something fun, this would be it. Like, it's meant to be taken lightly unless you want to take it seriously.
Yeah, it's. I know he has a core rule book. He has another one, right? Like
it's called the Whole, which is more of the oith.
I think there's a second one. Volume 2. Josh?
Let's see.
He doesn't know.
He's got the whole Volume 1, Keister Island, the Boss Blocker, which is the GM Scream, Volume 2 of the whole, which is Holy Crap.
Yeah, that one.
Lowbrow High Adventure, which is fiction. Let's see. There's a Low Life Misadventure deck, which is, I believe, you can draw for like random.
Yeah.
I mean, there's even charts in here for making a random adventure. So I mean, it's got a ton of
I'm
information.
pretty sure you could take any.
Other than having
adventure.
to get by this book and a Savage Worlds rule set, you have with these combined. I mean, we're talking $10 main rules, and this is, I believe, $40. Yeah, $40 retail. For $50, which is pretty much the cost of any book,
Yeah.
you have an entire setting chock
silly-
full of tons and tons and tons of things, and a great system that you can put it anywhere else too. Overall, my overall take on Low Life. If you like goofy role playing, definitely get this in your collection. Go buy it now. If you're looking for something that's just on the, we just want to do something different.
Different.
It's worth the money.
How's the learning curve for
Savage Worlds?
Yeah.
No.
I meant for
Low Life, throwing this in, no,
it's nothing.
Nothing.
Nah.
It'd be nothing. If you
I think the
understand
GM
Savage
would have,
Worlds,
I think the
you get
GM
this.
though would have to put some time into the
setting.
the setting in
Yeah.
order to understand it and explain it good. Like you couldn't just pick it up and go, okay, you're at a, whatever. You'd have to understand the background of it. But I think that would be the only work, because once players walk into it, it's especially experienced players. They'd be like, what's going on, and they can play it.
Like in my mind, I personally, it's probably, and this is just the opinion of Nate. Like, I don't think I could run a campaign of this, to be honest, because it's not my type. It's not my wheelhouse of like that goofy type of. Like for me, goofy role playing, yeah, it's fun, but that's like a one-off. I like more story and stuff. Not that you can't do that with this, but the setting itself and the character, I mean, it's fairly ridiculous. I mean, you're playing cockroaches or walking piles of poo and stuff like that. You could take it in a very different direction. I mean, the ideas that are presented in here, even though they're silly, I mean, you could really take them into a dark or extremely dark place.
Extremely dark.
But it's, for me personally, this wouldn't be like I'm going to run a campaign for this. This would be more like hey, one or two adventures. Let's just make some fun characters.
Yeah.
And kind of get into the world of Low Life. Because honestly, it's a very good world.
It's a break, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If Andy was
is a
here,
great
he'd tell you
world.
you could run years of campaigns for that.
You probably could. Oh,
well, that's
sure.
Andy.
Yeah.
His brain works differently.
I mean, honestly, like if this is in your wheelhouse,
Uh-huh.
if what we just described to you like really floats your boat, you could have many years. I mean, the oath in this is huge.
And then he's also local. So
Yes.
I'm
Down
sure
in
if
Akron.
you email him or Facebook him or something with some questions or ideas, or
Speaking of which,
he'd run with it. Go ahead. Just the
con that
lead in.
Right. The con that Andy runs is called Con on the Cob. It's October 3rd through 6th. It's check it out on Facebook or I believe it's just cononthecob.com.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody in the Cleveland or pretty much Ohio area, it's a good con. It's not like
Is there a bad con?
Well, I mean, there's something
I know.
like
I'm
that.
just playing.
I mean, it's not Origins.
You go there in somebody's garage.
I'm trying
yeah.
to try to. It's not like you have Gen Con, which is like the con, and then you have like
that's all right.
Origins for us locals that are like a pretty big con. I put this as like a smaller con, but it's definitely a fun time to go to.
Yeah, you can
And-
spend a day there and not be disappointed.
And the Odd Mall down in Akron is, I mean, that's a hoot to go to as well. So,
yeah, that's if you're looking for something different or
Right.
hang around.
but if you're looking as far as role playing games go, I'd recommend it. It's fun to me. It looks fun to play. It looks.
I
like
read
a
it. I
really
like the fact
good-
that it's like a history, so it's almost like
Yeah.
reading a little novel.
Right. It's presented in a way. It's
Post-apocalyptic
not all
novel.
just rules. Here's stats. Here's rules. Here's stats. Here's
No,
rules.
you
This
read
is-
it like, especially the other books, the volume 1 and 2. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what's with me today. I didn't mean to yawn. I wasn't. It's not boring me. I just, man, I'm losing my mind here. Yeah, even the books read like you said, like a history book, and it's just fun to to get lost in that world for a while. And
It does take a little bit to get the language because he's using it's like colloquial language of the person using. So you get a lot of the words snaz and peeps and
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, but once you pick it up, I mean, we're not talking about like you're reading Shakespearean stuff where it's like,
Yeah,
oh
you don't
man,
need
Middle
a-
English is
Yeah,
really,
you
like
don't
this
need-
is just really it's funny
you don't
writing.
need a Latin degree or a
Right.
degree in Latin or whatever.
And the setting itself is just it's really you feel like you're in depth with it. It's awesome. You can make so many cool things out of what's presented there. You can truly make a character that's going to be fun to play and hilarious, or fun to play and scary. Like it's really good.
So you recommend it?
Oh, I would recommend it. Yeah,
Okay,
I
that's
mean,
cool.
if it's in your wheelhouse, if you're easily
If you
offended,
already own Savage World, it's even
Yeah.
cheaper to get into.
I mean, if you're easily offended, I don't know why you're a role player, but if you're easily offended, it's probably not for you.
Probably not.
If you don't find the keystone of God as the center of the earth as something that makes you giggle,
You do have to.
Yeah,
you do have to have a sense of humor.
but
I
other than
don't
that-
really know anybody who would be totally offended by that.
No,
so.
no.
And
And it's like I said, even the holy roller part of it, or the holy crap, the religious, it pokes fun, but it doesn't poke fun of faith. It just pokes fun of like the eons in the future, what people would be reading about.
the mechanics of
Right,
it. Yeah,
right.
yeah,
like
yeah.
what their interpretation of what people were doing. Like the Jebima's witnesses, like they're creamphilians, and in their lore, they thought that humans would bake them, put them in these little cellophane coffins, put them in boxes, and then consume them. So the Jemima witnesses hate the humanitarians because they see the humans as dying off for a reason. And I mean, it's like I said, it can get really deep, but it's a great read. I'll put it that way. Like it's 280 some pages. I got through it in probably 3.5 hours of actual reading. And it's presented in a way that it doesn't make it like, oh, this is just stats. Or drolling on about people you don't care about.
That's cool.
So,
all right. Well, hopefully we hear something back. If you like it, let us know. And thanks again.
if anybody's played it, leave something in the comments. We'd love to see.
Yeah.
Again, if anybody wants us to review something, throw that down there
Yeah,
too.
let us know what to review. We're kind of floundering around sometimes. I'm going to see.
Not yet.
Oh, you got it?
I got one coming up. Yeah.
All right.
I got
Well,
one.
Nate's got. Actually, I kind of let it go, and Nate just picks them from now on. he's doing all the work for me because I just don't know. I forgot what we were doing today. But if you like that, listen to our other podcast. Go to immortalsinc.com. Yeah, we're fancy. I keep forgetting. immortalsinc.com, and you can link to all our podcasts. You can see all our events. We can see everything we got going on. Come on into the store. Give us a call on the phone. Give us a call on the telephone, 216-712-7169. You got any questions? Message Josh on Facebook. He's mostly the one who answers the Facebook posts. And
Technology.
yeah, we'll go from there. All right, until next week, guys. Thanks for coming. Or next 2 weeks.
Yes.
We do it bi-monthly, right?
Bi-monthly,
All
yes.
right, Jesus.
Bi-weekly.
Yeah.
Bi-monthly, yeah.
It's every 2 months.
Yeah, so bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly. 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks. Yeah.
Every in 2
We do it
weeks.
every 2 weeks. You
We'll
get to
figure
see
it
our
out.
mugs
By-
every 2 weeks.
By then, I should be awake. I should be fresh and ready to go.
Lies.
Lies.
It's all lies.
All right, guys. See you next time.
Have a good one.